The third speaker of the day is R. Vivekanantharasa, who is a lecturer in the Department of Secondary and Tertiary Education, Faculty of Education, the Open University of Sri Lanka. He has worked as an instructor, visiting lecturer, English teacher, and also headed the position of director in Social Economic Development Organization. He has several research articles under his belt and has attended a lot of workshops and seminars. Sir, I welcome you today. Hello, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you're very much audible. Was having some network issues, so I was not able to turn on my camera, but now I am. So,
Okay.
hello, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction of me, and thank you all the participants and all the invitees, especially to Cape Comorian and Dr. Sylvester and Dr. Jayasri Kasrika and the joint organization and the all eminent speakers, participants, and all of you. Thank you very much for inviting me, and good evening, all of you. So I just want to start my presentation with this question. Can anyone answer to this question? 21st century world is called. So which is the correct answer? Can anyone tell me? Whether information age or conceptual age or industrial age? 21st century. Any participants?
Information age.
Okay, I know that you all of you will go for that information age, but that practically and definitely the answer is not information age. The answer is conceptual age. That's my main theme of my presentation. When I go through my presentation and the slide one by one, you will get to know. So why this conceptual age. But we all know that because we are digitalized, not only that physical things, even the human related things also digitalized. We are fully digitalized. That's why if we ask anyone, they will definitely tell the answer. Today's 21st century world is information age, but the answer is conceptual age. So information age is already started. That started. We are experiencing the things information related and the digitalization. After that digitalization time, now we have just moved to the conceptual age. What is conceptual age? We'll move to the next slide with a clear idea. So my topic is transformation of learners from the information age to conceptual age. Right. As ma'am mentioned, I am Mr. R. Vivekanantharasa, lecturer, Faculty of Education, Open University of Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka. So if you want to reach me, you can read through this email, my official email. Right. Okay. Okay. My outline of the presentation, I'm going to discuss about these 4 ideas. So what is the information age, and what is the role of information age in educating children, and what is the conceptual age, and what is the role of conceptual age in educating children, right? So with that, you can see this slide. Sorry, yes, this slide, we will get the idea. So how did we call 18th century, and how did we call 19th century, and how did we call 20th century? Now the 21st century, how do we call the 21st century? So you know that 18th century, definitely that is agricultural age, definitely that may be the agricultural field. Industrial age came to the 19th century. So that after the industrial revolution, it was called industrial century, industrial age, you can say. That after the 20th century, I think in the middle of 20th century, information age started. So information age means knowledge workers, that based on the knowledge workers. After that 20th century, now we have just moved to the 21st century. Now we are in the 21st century. So this 21st century world is called conceptual age. So not only with the technology related, information related things. So we can't do anything only having the technology and the digitalization thing and whatever that related to information age. We need something more. So that is apart from the information related knowledge, technology related knowledge, digitalization related knowledge. That's why we call this century conceptual age, conceptual world. We'll see. Right. What is first of all, I will tell about what is information age. How does information age help students to learn new ideas? How does information age help not only for the students, different types of learners, maybe adult learners and that maybe adults, maybe anyone. How does it help to gain more ideas, right? So the information age is also known as a computer age. We can call it computer age or digital age or new media age. Is a historical period that began in the mid 20th century, characterized by a rapid epochal shift from the traditional industry established by the Industrial Revolution after the Industrial Revolution to an economy primarily based upon information technology. This is the definition for the information age. So that is 20th century. You can see that point. It was began in the mid of the 20th century. Mid of the 20th century, maybe I can accurately I can tell that 1945. In the year of 1945, the information age was started. It was known as, the world was known as information world, right? So with that, information age includes networks, mobility, digitalization, knowledge economy, digital dependency, cultural change. You can get the idea. You can one by one you can know it, and you can search for that what is network and what is mobility and what is digitalization, what is knowledge economy, what is digital dependency, what is cultural change. I can explain one by one because of the time restriction. Okay, learners in the information age. So in the information age time, how did the learners react to the things and the activities in teaching learning process? The first point, the information age is related the transformative effects of technology. That is the first point. That's why we are, if anyone asks us, so how does this world is called, we are just without any idea, without immediately we are telling that information age or digital age or new media age. That is because of the technology. Everything is connected with the technology. Specifically now that pandemic time, the learning activities and other all activities, purchasing and transformation, transportation, and everything are connected with technology. So that's why we are calling that this 21st century also information age, but not information age. We can't tell the 21st century is fully information age, but we are practicing the information age related things, but we can thoroughly can adapt the information age related things only. There are something apart from the information age also. Right. The first point is, as I told you, that effects of technology. The second point is the information age shifting from the content to skill knowledge. So another important character of information age is shifting from the content to skill knowledge. Now you know that earlier the education system was it was fully categorized and was fully designed based on the contents. If I learn the content, just I apply for an exam and I got the result and I just passed the exam and I went for a convocation and something blah blah, and after that I get a job and just I'm doing the things. But now the situation is not that. Not only the content, we should learn the skills. We should be able to able to work with different people. So to work with different people, we should be adapted with the different types of skill. That's why the skills are divided into two. The first one is hard skills and the soft skill. You know, the hard skills are quantity related. The quantity related means the skills which we can measure. The soft skill are not quantity, that's quality related skill. The skills we cannot be measured, right? We can't measure the skill. That's why we have divided the skill, hard skill and soft skill. So you can read that under the hard skill, the planning, problem solving, budgeting, scheduling, risk management, time management, everything will come, right? Reading, writing, everything will come. But soft skill are something different. That is mental related. That is something mental related things: communication, leadership, and negotiation, empathy. I will talk about the term empathy, adaptability, and feelings related. These are the soft skills. So the hard skill and the soft skill idea was clearly mentioned in the age of information. Though in the age of information, these two skills are explained clearly. The very important ideas of these two skills are clearly explained in the conceptual age. I will explain about that later. So the third point of that information age is democratizing learning. What is democratizing learning? Democratizing learning means, you know, that democratizing means making something available to everyone, right? So not only for one person, not only for any one community or any one society or any other one country, it is available to everyone. For example, if you take internet accessibility is common to everyone. But the thing is, we don't have the possibility to access the internet. Now the problem is, so we are in the pandemic time, we are just telling we are going for a blended learning, hybrid learning, online learning, something blah blah, we are telling. But the problem is, all the people, all the students in this world are not able to access the internet facility. That's the main thing. So in physical class is the only way to give the proper education to all the students in this world. If we go for a fully online or blended or supplementary, definitely that will be a struggle to the students who are not having proper internet facility. Okay, anyway, we can tell the internet is a democratizing learning factor because it is adaptable, it is adequate to all the students. But the problem is some of them are not able to use internet because of the non-availability, right? So that next factor of information age is authentic learning. What is authentic learning? Authentic learning is something instructional way of learning. It makes students to think and to think deeply and to innovatively act and create something new and make them to act themselves. That is authentic learning, something related with practical studies. That is the very important point of information age. In that way, information age helps to all the students, now all the students in this world. You can see these elements of authentic learning. There are 12 main elements of authentic learning. You should know about authentic learning. Authentic learning is the main concept now in this pandemic era also. That all educational institution, educational organization, all institution and organization are emphasizing this authentic learning practice, right? You can see that picture. There are different elements of authentic learning. So one by one, you can read it if you want. I will share the slide also, so don't worry. Right. Now I come to my point, main point. So up to now I explained clearly about information age. Information age is not for 21st century. It was started in 20th century. Now, if we ask, if anyone asks questions whether the information age is related only for 21st century, that's the answer is no. Not we cannot tell yes, because now we have just moved to the 21st century with conceptual age. What is conceptual age? Maybe that may be a new idea for you, or some of you have already known about that. Please just, if anyone is new with this conceptual age idea, please just search something more and learn something more. The ability to identify patterns or connections between situations that are not obviously related, and to identify key or underlying issues in complex situations. It includes using creative, this is very important point, creative, conceptual or inductive reasoning. A simpler definition is the ability to perceive and imagine, predict and hypothesize and conduct and reflect. So with the technology related things only, we can't do anything. We can just know the technology ideas, just we apply. But there is no any creative ideas, creative thinking. There is no any innovative thinking in the information age related things. But this conceptual age time gives us more creative and innovative ideas. Both are same, creative and innovative. Through creative ideas, we are just making innovations. That is the main point. So the main point of this conceptual is making innovation through different kind of thinkings and different kind of thinking and imagining and prediction and even hypothesis also. That is the main part of the main explanation for the conceptual age. So you can see this, I can explain clearly the importance of conceptual age through this picture. You know, our brain is divided into two parts, left brain and right brain. You know, we can call it as left hemisphere and right hemisphere. You know, the left hemisphere rule the different kinds of skill. The different skills are come under left brain, and some other different skills come under right brain. You know that logical, focused on facts and realism predominates, and planned and orderly, these are the skill come under left brain. So emotional, focus on art, creativity, imagination, these are the skills and they come under right hemisphere, or you can call it a right brain. So these right brain and left brain activities are almost connected with this conceptual related skills. That's why the 21st century conceptual conceptual related skills are very important for learners, especially to students. As we are educators, teachers, we have to make our students to be good at in conceptual age related skills. Right. Here in the conceptual age, there are three main skills which are very important in the conceptual skill. The first skill is creativity. You know what is creativity? Creativity means something, we are creating something new, which is called innovation. You know, innovation. Under creativity only, we are focusing on different kinds of skills. You know that you can see this picture also. Inspiration, imagination, vision, idea, thinking, innovation, everything will come under creativity. So this creativity ability did not mention under the information age. Right? They have only the technology related things only they have, but under conceptual age only this creativity idea was clearly explained by uh, eminent people. The second very important factor, or we can say characteristics of conceptual age, is empathy. What is empathy? So empathy is something related with feelings, understanding others' feelings. Without understanding others' feelings, we can't do anything. You know, that is called humanity. So just that is the thing now. The world, that is the thing is happening with without humanity. Some activities are happening, and people are thinking differently. They are going. They are just. I can definitely say we are selfish. Definitely, we all are selfish. We don't have this empathy, even including me also. So that is because of the information age. We are going very fast, and without considering other human related things. So because of that, under this conceptual age, this factor was uh, emphasized, very highly emphasized. I can say very highly emphasized because of the lack of humanity during the information age time. Right? You know, there are three types of empathy. You know, effective empathy, and somatic empathy, and cognitive empathy. So these three are related with human related feelings. If you can read that, if you try to explain effective empathy, the ability to respond to other people's emotion appropriately. So we just respond to others people emotion appropriately. We are just making ourselves, the feeling is like ours. We are just involving fully. That is effective empathy. The second one is somatic empathy. What is somatic empathy? Somatic empathy is the ability to feel what another person is feeling. That is something apart from that effective empathy. Without involving the feeling, without knowing that what is their problem, why they are in this uh, condition, and that different things. We just feel without knowing that. Right? That is somatic empathy. Only few people have this kind of ability. The last one is cognitive empathy. What is cognitive empathy? The ability to understand someone's response to a situations. You know that situational thinking, situational ideas, situational feelings. When a person acts in a situation, we should obey him. Without obeying him, we can't do anything. That is not called humanity. In the information age, during that time, that was highly emphasized. So we did not take care of anyone, take care of any other people's feeling. We just thought about only the digitalization and the ideas with information age. But now that almost the world is, it is emphasized in the world that we should have empathy under the conceptual age idea. Right. The third point is under the conceptual age, logic and analysis. That means logical thinking. So when you think the logical thinking, so we are telling that we know everything. We are digitalized, we are socialized, and we know the operating the different kinds of technology devices, and we know everything. But we are something lacking with the logical thinking in the analysis part. When we get a problem, when we get into a problem, we are totally collapsed. We are unable to solve the problem. We are really collapsed. Because of that, we lose everything. So that is something related with logical and analysis part, right? So that is also very important factor in conceptual age, which is called logic and analysis. You know, you can identify the differentiation between information age and conceptual age. Information age, that is for 20th century. Even we are continuing the factors in 21st century also. So I'm not telling that 21st century is not for an information age. We are practicing, but we are focusing the conceptual age related things also. Here under the information age, you can see the sequential, literal, functional, textual, analytical. These are the skills comes under information age. You can tell these factors also. So under the conceptual age, simultaneous, metaphorical, aesthetic, and contextual, synthetic. These are the something related with feeling, something related with mental related, no, something mental related thing, not only with technology related. Something we are going for mental related thing. So you can clearly understand seeing this picture. 21st century learning not only for technology related or any mentally or feelings related. It is a way of learning. It is a way of learning with the different kinds of skill. You can see this picture. Fundamental knowledge. What is fundamental knowledge? To know what we are going to know. The meta knowledge. Act. After knowing, we are just acting. Then humanistic knowledge, to value, to get a value, that is something related conceptual knowledge. And fundamental knowledge and humanistic knowledge and meta knowledge, there are different kinds of skills and yes, you can say skills. You can see you can read, and when I say other presentation also, you can get the idea, right? With that all the information, takeaway message is information and conceptual related skills are very important for learners. So not only for information, with information related skills, the conceptual related skills are also very important. That's why we are telling that we have moved from the information age to conceptual age. If we are only with information related knowledge, so we never think about other people. We never think about other society. We never think about our country. We will think about only ourselves. With that, thank you very much. This is the main idea I just wanted to share with you all. Today's century, today's world is called as conceptual age. In this conceptual world, as we all are educators, teachers, even learners, we should know about this conceptual age factors, and we should make the students to learn about this conceptual related skills and the factors. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. And we have a comment from Linthangami Devi. She has said that in the information age, we have access to lots of information. But the reality is that we tend to forget everything. Very few is retained in one's head. So that's a comment she has made, and I think a very relevant one. With the burst of information, it's very difficult to actually retain all of that information. So anything that you want to suggest or comment on?
With the conceptual idea, no?
Yes.
No. Now we are almost focusing on the information related skill only. No, even anyone does not know about what is conceptual knowledge and conceptual ideas. We just go beyond the technology related things and learning everything through technology, and we are acting towards the technology also. But we don't think about the conceptual ideas. When we learn the conceptual thing also, technology related skill plus conceptual related skill, so will make us effective and efficient person.
Okay, Devi has actually asked another question here this time, that do you think that this conceptual age can fully be achieved, as today's youth are obsessed with electronic gadgets? They have no time to talk, to see the next person sitting. I think a lot of videos have been made on this concept also. You know how
Yes, yes, yes.
everyone is in the virtual world. The reality
Yeah, yeah.
somehow is, becoming blurred.
Yes, we are bounded with technology only. We don't think about conceptual ideas. That's why we are, if anyone asks, we are just immediately telling that information age or digitalization and that ideas, digital age.
And we have a lot of appreciation coming your way. If you see the chat box, it's blasting. So
Thank
many
you.
people have found it useful, informative, and very clear, very crisp. So people are pouring in their appreciation, their love for your session, sir. And
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you,
And in
ma'am.
fact, yes, all the three speakers today have, made this session one of the interesting sessions, I would say, in this FGP. And we had three very distinguished speaker, Dr. Jayashree Singh, Dr. Molina, and sir. And you three have shown us a new way, I think, to see the world, to understand the world, and also to improve our understanding of the next Gen X. We are in born. I think most of us were born when digital technology started. It was in its nascent stage, and now the sudden boom, the sudden difference, and the way how we can help our students and how we can help, in I think reaching a greater, reaching them in a much better way. And I think this session has done it. This session has taught us how all the three speakers have, in their own ways, given us new insights into the world of teaching, learning, and it has helped us to be, I think, better educators, I would say, for all of us. And it has been a wonderful session. If anyone wants to ask any questions directly, please raise your hand and I'll invite you. Or else, and yes, thank you so much from the organizer side also, that you are appreciating our effort in bringing such good speakers together in this platform, through this platform. Now we are actually digital now. I think this session proves it, that we are digital, we are global. The people, participants from all over the world have joined this session, and we have speakers from all over the world. And this has shown the reach of the virtual world, the digital world, which is not only sometimes difficult to handle, but also a blessing for a lot of people. And then this pandemic, I think it's becoming more and more important for the people, and people are realizing the potential of this world. And our speakers today have actually uh, spoken on different aspects of this digital world, and the teaching and the change in the teaching pedagogy, the methodology, everything. And thank you so much, all of you, for joining us today.